What do we do with our drip winnings? What does anyone do with their drip winnings? All you hear is hydrate, compound, just keep building the bag, bro. Moon. Let's talk about what we do with our drip winnings today. Welcome back to the channel where we build financial power. My name's Matt, and this is
Potter.
Here on this channel, we talk about the wonderful, trippy, crazy world of DeFi, and that is this little subsection of what crypto is. And it's sort of the wild, wild west right now. I'm in about a 7-month journey of this DeFi thing. I've been in to crypto as a whole since 2017. But 7 months ago, I jumped down this rabbit hole with this person named Potter that I'm looking at. And she has an incredible amount of experience, and she's taken me under her wing. It's been really, really cool to learn this. And one project that we talk about mostly on Fridays is this thing called drip. And we're not saying you need to go do this or get into it or whatever, but it is something that is happening. Our point is to share our perspective and document our process of learning and all the things that we're finding. But before we jump into it, Potter, how you feeling?
I'm good.
Cool.
You know, this is kind of, guys, like, you might say we're a little bit light on content because, you know, drip is
No. Don't dumb it down. Absolutely not. We're here to provide value. Screw that. We might have somebody that's never heard of what the hell we're talking about, and this could be completely groundbreaking. Don't downgrade us like that.
So what I was going to say was, you know, there's nothing happening in drip. Like, there's just, you know, we're kind of waiting, you know, for things to happen. So we're like, hey, we can still provide value, right? So let's share, what do we do with some of our drip, you know, rewards, if you will. So,
if you don't know what the, you hear my little boy voice there going through puberty at 32. If you don't know what the heck drip actually is, it is a daily 1% ROI platform. It's deflationary in nature. And it's quite interesting. There's about there's a little over 117,000 people in this project. It's been around for a little over a year. And that's quite impressive in today's technological times, and especially the DeFi world where things change at every turn. So pretty cool project. I've been in since December, and all I know is the compound button. All I know is hydrate. That is all I know. I think once I took a little bit of drip to put into the reservoir, which is another piece of the drip network. But that's it. That is it. I have claimed no profit. I've put nothing in my own checking account. I have done nothing to hydrate. Potter, I didn't even tell you this. I'm actually I'm doing a little screen record every time I pass another 100 milestone. So at 300, at 400, at 500, at 600, like I'm just recording it to be able to look back and be like, hey, I was at 300 at that point. I was at 400.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So
when are you going to release it?
That's a good question. And I thought about that. I was like, I'm not sure when I'm going to release that. It's actually on the YouTube channel. It's hiding. It's just unlisted, and I've just slowly been doing it. But all I know is hydrate. So I mean, Potter's going to have much more insight on what she's done because she's been in the game longer, and because of that, she's making quite much more than I am. So what the heck do you do with your winnings?
Well, one of the things that people misunderstand is that they think, okay, I'm going to get all this drip, and every day I'm going to take it out. And I did that for about a couple of weeks, and it doesn't make sense. It like, you can't spend it all, you know? It's like, why not compound? So when you start getting up to 4,000, you're just getting so much that you don't want to hurt the system, right? So you don't want to sell it. And at the same time, you don't have any bills that you need to pay. So, you know, you can go into other plays, you know? And so that's kind of what we we're going to talk about,
Yep.
about some of the different plays that we go into. But going back to what you're talking about with drip and it having 117,000 users, another play that's built off of the technology of drip called Splassive, they average about 20 people a day, right? Not 200 or 300 people a day.
Yep.
And if drip was a platform that was going, we wouldn't see people continually piling in. Like your average play has a few thousand users.
Yeah.
Not usually do you even see 10,000.
Yeah.
But 117,000 people, and it was lower than that on Monday.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah. So what I do is you get some of it, and you can put it back in your bank account. I have.
Well, and for somebody that doesn't know, let's clarify how drip works. Is you earn more drip as time goes on, and if you were compounding. Basically, if you get the reward of drip, you then put it back in, and then you're gaining more. You're gaining a percentage, 1% daily on that total. So you're gaining more and more and more as time goes. So that's what she's talking about as far as earning the drip. Fire away.
Right. So, when we get it, you usually convert it to BNB. And from there, you can go into other plays. So some of the ones that I've taken a look at, and again, if you want a referral, send us an email. Right, we'll send you the referral link. But some of these plays, they started during what we called mining season. You can go back, look at some of our videos on that, where you had a bunch of software developers come out and they understood the Ponzonomics of it. You do need more people to put money in for other people to profit. But that's just like with any business. But the negative was that they were putting it such a high percentage of return. Like you saw a second ago, it was like 1% for drip. These people are giving like 8%. And if you have referrals, we'll give you 10%. And so at first I heard people say, oh, that's not sustainable. I'm like, what are you talking about? Drip gives magic money all the time. But then you understand that there's an algorithm behind it. And so what some of these developers did was they went out, they thought, oh, this one miner called Baked Beans that was a takeoff of the longest miner on the market, BNB miner. Once software developers saw, hey, I can do that too to raise capital, I'm going to build other cool stuff, they started doing it. But what they also started to realize was, wow, Forex made this look easy, right? And so Forex had an ecosystem. These guys just had an app. So they started understanding, hey, I've got just an app. And they started to try to build an ecosystem that also had problems, as they were starting to realize, hey, this is hard. Some people were like Splassive, they moved it over to a different blockchain so that they would show respect for drip and not try to compete with it. But it introduced a lot of challenges that they could not meet. And so there was an exploit. So you have this happening a lot. And so what you're seeing over the whole DeFi space is developers are getting good. Now, one of the people that I wanted to highlight, do you have any questions, Matt?
No, you're good. I do want to clarify. You said Forex, and for anybody that doesn't know, that's the developer of the entire drip network. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's this, it's called roastedbeef.io. Again, if you really want to, have a referral, send us email. But this guy started off with just a miner, and then he made what I consider a classic mistake. When developers think that they can develop for two blockchains because the code is just basically the same, but you have people who are only on a blockchain and they don't think anything like the people on another blockchain. Like the people on Binance Smart Chain don't think anything like the people on Phantom, right? And so when you see a developer launch something on those two different platforms, you're going, how are you going to manage that community? You know what I mean? You got more people, greed, and you got more people, how did you do that? What is the scope of that? And can I make money? How do you balance that? So he kind of went away from that, but then he developed Another thing, I just got reminded of a Monty Python skit where they go into
Never seen it.
so it was Monty Python, the Holy Grail. And so the king is talking about not giving up to his son, who his son is trying to sing out a window and he stops him. So anyway, he says, well, what about failure to you, father? He's like, failure, I don't believe in failure. And so I'm mucking this up. But he says, first castle, I built it and it sank into the swamp. But my second castle, it also sank into the swamp. My third castle, it burned and then sank into the swamp. But the fourth castle, it stood. Right? So when I look at this guy, he created something called Beef Swap. That was to support it. That was his first try. He was so sad. Then he tried
Beef
to
Swap
release.
supported roast beef.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Go ahead.
Supposed to. And then he released something called Beef Chain. It's a good idea, kind of charity driven, got drained. Then he created a Beef DAO where he was going to do airdrops, but it got exploited because he'd never done it before. But this guy is getting smarter and smarter. He created a farm, didn't work. But then now he just created a roast beef version 2, which is not growing, but he's getting better. Now he's created an NFT. You know what I mean? This guy is getting smarter and he's getting better. So now when I look at developers or these different plays or games, I go, how much have you failed? Right?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for, oh my God, 1 billion APR percentage guaranteed in 2 days.
Yeah.
You know,
running.
I know that's not real, but it doesn't excite me anymore. I want to know, what has the developer done? And now going back to another thing, this is a unique perspective that we can provide. When you look at devs and they go quiet, it's either one or two things.
Yeah.
Things are really bad, but usually devs, they have to come out and they start talking about everything. So you go, why are you talking so much? But when a dev goes quiet, they're about to release stuff. And the devs for both Splassive and Drip gone completely stealth. Like I looked back to see how long Forex is taken between messages. I think his longest was 8 days. I think he's on 5 right now. So they're getting ready to do things and their heads are so down deep in the code and the process, they're not paying attention to time. This is why developers need suits to do all that stuff, right? Because you just lose your clients. You know what I mean? But not in degen space, but in normal space. So I said a whole lot.
Well, and look, I want to clarify something. So you said if you want the referral link, email us. You got to give them more than that. What are you talking about? What you mean?
You say, hey, you know what? I like roasted beef. I want to go into it. Send us an email. We'll send you the referral link.
Got it. So the email is in our about section. If you would like that. So got it. So Cole says, what do you guys think is behind the little price bump this morning, up about 8%, which is nice considering how long we've been flat? Cole, from my opinion, I think that that is about like predicting the rain. It's a great question. One thing I'll mention, Cole, is again, from my only 7 months into this DeFi world, every time Forex says something, comes out and says anything, there's a little bit of a bump. It seems a little bit of a bump. And when he comes out and speaks and I see that bump, I expect that. And I get no excitement. I get no excitement of that little bump because I know it's artificial as of right now. It was a one-time little bump. And so good question. Potter, you got any theories on that?
Yeah. It's for me, it's more the technical analysis that I've done. And so when I see a price bump, I go, okay, what happened? Right. So first I go take a look at BREEP. Right. I'm like, okay, is BREEP going up or down? Because if it's going up, that means more people are bringing people into the platform because they're buying it because they want to get the royalties or the rewards for their person. So did that go up? Yes, it did.
So BREEP is a coin that's in the Drip network. If you hold that and you get referrals, you can build a team and you get drip from people hydrating that's underneath your team.
Right. And so check, right? And then I go, did Forex release any news like Matt just said? No, He's been quiet for a bit.
Mm.
And so it's like, okay. So then since drip is paired with BNB, did BNB go up? Yes, it did. So you have two indicators that, like Matt just said, can't tie them together. You can't prove that that's any logic. I'm just telling you the TA that I use to say that this is more than just somebody aping in, but you don't know. I don't know.
I've never understood I've never understood people doing price predictions, like dedicated. There's dedicated personalities that are like the price prediction of Tesla or Apple or this or that, or in DeFi, and I've never understood that. I've never understood, like, I take that back. I guess I do understand it. It's preying on people's emotions. People want to hear it's going to go up. It's going to go up. And so I think
there's two people who do it, and you're spot on. Like, there are some influencers who just rah, but then there's a person like Optical Art who, back when everybody was going, oh my God, it's going to 100,000, he got my attention because he said, I think it's going to go to 16. I was like, say what now? And so he has courses and they're expensive, so I bought them. But he uses charts and he does all of this analysis, and you have to do all of these different ways. It takes hours to understand it. But when I used his theory, I predicted, not knowing, because I sat there in shock, the original pig's price. I used his TA, and it showed where it was going to meet resistance, and it did, and it was never as high as that again. I just sat up there versus going, I should pull out, my position. I was just like, that is so weird. It's fake, but it is so weird. So, there's two sides to it, there are people who can use it. For me, it's a detective thing. Like, Batman is not preventative, right? Batman's a detective. He goes in, he looks after, right? To see if it can lead him to some clue where the criminal might be in the future, right? So you can kind of, when I look at charts and I do the TA on that, I'm going, well, what was the situation on that day? What was happening in the economy? What was happening with the company? Before you say, oh, I can attribute this drop and, to it being systematic over months or weeks, it's a whole different level.
Yeah, it's about 800 billion things that can affect the price of an asset. And so Cole says, Mattman, I'm as new as you are. Interesting point about the Breep token, Potter. Thanks. Yeah, it's some of those pieces that you don't even know. And I've been into stocks for quite a few years now, and I don't do price predictions and when's this one going to go up. And like, I wasn't involved with AMC when it popped and all that crap. Like, I just, I'm more broad index funds, but like, you start to understand that it's not timing of the market, it's time in the market. I don't have the attention span to focus in on one asset and be like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I'd lose my mind. I would lose my mind. So, yeah.
Right. It's one of the things that you see when you hear people talking about, okay, here's where the price was, and here's where the price is. We brought this up on the shows before. We don't care about the price. We want to know, is this developer good? Is this company the developer is working for good? Because like stocks, this is the metaverse, so it's a game, but we're betting on saying, hey, you're going to develop something in the future. It's probably going to be worth something. I'm in. Bonus, it pays out in US dollars. So, but that's what's happening. So, but you should be not looking at, the price. And if you are doing just what Matt said, if you're looking at it, you're going to go crazy because there's just no logic behind it. And you can go to any influencer, you can go to any website that tells you, oh, this is bad, or, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. What do you want to hear?
Yeah. No, it's 1,000% true. It's price prediction is It's not what I'm after. It's not what I'm after. So, I mean, long story short, there have been quite a few projects that Potter has taken, some drip winnings from and gone into. I am still hydrating. I'm still compounding. Drip is, again, this is just for me. And I believe anything in crypto can be gone in an instant. It can be gone tomorrow. Nothing is sacred. But drip is the one platform, the one thing that I've found that I feel more vested in, and I in my head I want to be like, it's safe. It's not safe. Nothing's safe. Nothing is safe in this world. But that's just the one I lean to. Like to me, it's always like, yeah, putting more into that makes sense in this world. That's just me. That's just me.
No, and I think, like Cole said, it's just me. It's just me. There's a lot of people are going, hey, no, me too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to stay in one thing, and the only reason that I can do multiple things is because
you've been building,
like you said, time in.
Yep. You just simply have had more time in. Paul says the US dollars are extra sweet for us Canadians. We get 28 cents premium when O exchange. Okay, all right, I get it. Okay.
Hey, like it. So putting in my application for Canada.
Yeah, right. I like it. Well, we appreciate you sliding by every Thursday, Friday, 10 Eastern. We appreciate you. Big old shout out to Mrs. S, because I know you're gonna be watching. If you're not watching currently, I appreciate you always watching. You know who you are. But we will be back every Thursday, Friday. If you're feeling squirrely, slide on by. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, or let us know how much we suck in the comments. Yeah. We want to know. Let us know. Potter, you got anything in closing before we wrap this bad boy up?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, builders, keep building.
Game on.